today's live. Now, let me know in the chat or comments if you can hear and see me okay. I've got the comments over here to my right. I'm not going to be focusing on them too much, but give me a thumbs up or just write in the chat if you can hear and see me okay before we get started. And also, if you're live, please let me know if you are watching this live, and if you are watching the replay at a later date, please let me know by writing replay. Also, you can answer this question whether you're alive, whether you're on the replay, like what are you hoping to take from this training? You might not even know what it's about, but if you were in my emails, you will know what I'm going to be talking about today. So let me know in the chat if you can hear or see me okay before we get started. All right, so today we are talking about co-parenting, not just regular co-parenting with someone who is not child-focused. Whatever you define that to be, you share children. If you're here watching this, you share children with someone who is not child-focused, who is hell-bent on punishing you or continuing to emotionally and psychologically abuse you, playing difficult. Whether they are overt or covert doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about today, co-parenting with a narcissist, more specifically the co-parenting tax that you pay. Now, you may not have ever heard this before. I'm just going to explain a little bit about what that is. Now, I hear time and time again in various different ways, co-parenting is a lot, it's exhausting, I'm overwhelmed, whatever it may be, all the things you can imagine. Maybe you've thought these things or said these things yourself. Like, it takes a lot of time, it drains me, I'm overwhelmed, I'm exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it may be. Now, that is something that you are paying, not necessarily financially, but in your time, in your energy, in just the emotional drain it takes to deal with somebody of that nature, especially when your children are involved. Now, does it take a lot of time and energy? Yes. To co-parent? Yes. When you don't do the right things and when you continue to do the wrong things. And by wrong things, I mean the things that drain your time, the things that continue to drain your energy, the things that continue to come up as problems or challenges that you experience time and time again, or year after year after year, as your children age. So, in my opinion, you are paying a lot in your time, in your energy, in your capacity, and it takes away and steals away from your career or your business or your studies, and more importantly, how you show up as a parent for your children. Okay, that's what I mean by co-parenting tax. It's a price you pay without even realizing it. Okay, good to see you. It's a price you pay that you don't even realize you're paying because you feel like you're doing something, but it's busy work. Busy work is not the work. If you find that you are emotionally drained, overwhelmed, or find yourself saying, or at least feeling and thinking that co-parenting is a lot, or I'm overwhelmed, you are not doing the right things. Now, is that your fault? No, not necessarily. You're not in any of my spaces. You may not have ever heard. You may be taking advice from, well-meaning therapists or counselor or your lawyer. They are not you. They have not experienced what you've experienced. They do not know how to get out of the situation that you're in. They don't know how to reframe what is going on. They don't necessarily have the tools to help you move forward and navigate this, because co-parenting should not be about managing and that's it. You need to live your life in peace. So this tax is what you are paying without even realizing it. Let me know in the comments if this is landing. Okay? Let me know if this is landing for you. Because this is what I hear. Like, oh, I really want to book a call with you, but co-parenting takes a lot. I really want to join this thing, but I've got court coming up. Or I really want to go and do this, but my lawyers are so expensive, or attorney. Now, they're all facts, of course, but it's like the work, and I think that people don't realize, the work is not actually work. It's not hard work. You save time, you save energy, you save finances and your emotional capacity so that you can focus on what you need to. Like one of my clients said, it's not hard work. There's no pressure. It actually makes things easier when you have a guide to support you every step of the way on this journey. And a guide who has been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. Because yeah, it isn't easy navigating all the things, supporting your children, navigating court, focusing on your own growth and, stepping into your own power and doing the things that you want to do and finding that peace within yourself. But this is self-development. That's what it comes down to. So the co-parenting tax, you pay it across your children, across how you deal with the court situation that you're in, whether you're back and forth in and out of court, how you deal with or how your confidence is. If you have low confidence, then there's obviously more work to do. So this work, and I always say the work is not work. You're spending the time and energy anyway. Wouldn't you want to spend the time and energy doing something that actually works? Doing something that's actually going to give you a return on investment? Like a lot of the time we outsource certain things. Like you get a cleaner because you don't want to spend the time and energy cleaning your house. So you get a cleaner. They are the experts in doing that. So you go and pay some money to get that off your plate. So you don't have to think about how messy your house is, how it's all in disarray, because that emotional energy you spend stressing and worrying, or the anxiety about it, is not worth it if you just go and pay someone. They can go handle it and deal with it. Obviously, you can't outsource your co-parenting, but if you want to, you're spending the time anyway and the energy anyway dealing with it. So if you want to go faster, that's when you would go and do something to go faster and try a new approach. But the work is not hard, it's not pressuring, it makes things easier. It saves you time, saves you energy, saves you money. Okay? Let me know if this is landing for you. Let me know in the chat before I move on. Because there are 5 ways you are paying this co-parenting tax without even realizing it. And over the next, 20 minutes, I'm going to be going through that. This is going to be a potent training. I'm not going to go on too much. Get in, get out. So let me know if this is landing for you. So when it comes to what you're dealing with, you are paying the co-parenting tax. Let's start with children. You're not present with them because your mind is elsewhere. Maybe your phone is getting blown up by your co-parent. Maybe you've got some legal issues to deal with. Maybe you're just not present because you are exhausted, mentally exhausted, having to deal with this, especially if you're in and out of court. Or maybe you finish with the whole court process, but you're noticing your children are suffering. They maybe aren't transitioning well, or maybe they're coming back with your co-parents' lies. Maybe the narrative is setting in, the narrative that your co-parent's trying to create. Or maybe they're just completely dysregulated and not themselves, and it takes you a long time to get them back to center. That energy and time compresses when you start doing the right set of things, when you have that guidance to help you. Because love, you probably heard me say this many times, love is not enough. You love your children, that's a given. But love and hugs is not enough. We need to put some measures in place and follow some frameworks, because your situation is not a regular parenting situation. You're dealing with your home, and you're dealing with what your child is experiencing in the other home that comes back to your home. So doing this work means that you don't spend time and energy spinning your wheels. Ultimately, you spend the time and energy actually getting the return on your investment of that time and energy by doing the right things in the right order so that your kids bounce back a lot quicker. You have the tools in your back pocket to apply when they are suffering through transitions or internalizing, or when your co-parent's trying to break the bond between you and your children. You have the tools and resources right in front of you. So there's no wavering in your children. Your children don't feel that, oh, I'm going to go and align with this parent and not align with you. Okay, that is solid. You create this solid bond. Now, your co-parent will be trying to break that bond. And when you know about it, it didn't just start at that moment. It started months or even years before. It just doesn't surface. You don't see the effects of that until a lot of the time it's too late. But it's never too late. But we need to course correct when we can course correct. When we know more, we can do better. When we have the guidance, we then know the right steps to take. 'Cause it's not like you're incapable. It's just if you keep doing the same things over and over again and getting the same outcomes, that's usually an indicator that something needs to change. Now, a lot of my clients and a lot of people in general, like, you feel like, I can do this. I don't need any help. I know my kids love me. I love them. I'm there for them. We're solid. I don't need help with this, until you realize, shit, I think I need some support with this, because what I'm doing, although it's working to a point, it's not enough. And the indicator of that is that they come back dysregulated or internalize, or parroting what your co-parent says, parroting their beliefs. Okay? That's a great sign that there is something different that needs to be happening. Okay? Let me know in the chat how this is landing for you before I move on to court and the co-parenting tax that you are paying without even realizing when it comes to court. Okay? Now, a lot of people, and this is my experience, over the years I've been doing this, and it's probably the perception that's out there, I just hire a lawyer or an attorney and they're just going to do everything for me. And then everything's going to be hunky-dory. Now, if you start documenting, or if you have been documenting, you are draining a lot of time and energy doing the wrong things. And I've seen this time and time again with people who come to me after the fact, and they have basically fucked up their case to a point, and they can't go back until a certain period of time, depending on where they're located. Now, there's a right way to go about documenting evidence, and there is a, I guess, wrong way. You don't throw everything at the wall. You don't just go and regurgitate everything and vomit all over your lawyer or attorney or, parenting coordinator or gal or whatever it may be. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to see it in the way that you present it. So I always say this to my clients: chew the food before you serve it up. Otherwise, no one's going to be wanting to even touch it. It'll get overlooked. And it may still get overlooked depending on your situation and depending how you show up and depending on your co-parent and their lawyer or attorney. Okay, there are a lot of variables. When there are a lot of variables and a lot of moving parts, when you are presenting your evidence or even creating your evidence or sorting and categorizing and whatever process you're using, if you've been in my programs, you will know the way to do it in a way where it is organized. But a lot of people are tempted to just go spill the story, everything, instead of the important things that actually make a difference. Okay? Putting everything through their lawyer or attorney. When one of my clients found me, she stopped doing that because it was a waste of time, energy, and money putting everything through her attorney. And she found that. And also explaining everything to them was getting her nowhere because they didn't get it. They have one job to do. That's their role. They are not there to know who your co-parent is. You know that. So you need to prepare as best as you can. And she was also an attorney herself, just not in family law. So we did that work together, and it saved her so much time, energy, and money. She didn't wait until after court to come and hire me. If you wait until after court, I mean, the court's already happened. That's already done. You've already spent the time, energy, and money doing it this one way that is more pleasing for lawyers and attorneys and judges, if you follow what your lawyer or attorney is saying and recommending. Now, I'm not saying they don't have a place. Of course they do. They are there to interpret the law and to advocate for you. But if what you give them is not in a good format, is not understandable, is not clear, they will not really look at it, or bully you into not mentioning any of the emotional and psychological abuse, bully you into decisions that you don't want to make. And that's happened. Or worse, they fire you and you've got to find another lawyer or attorney. You don't want to be in that situation, having to explain again, having to spend more money again. So it's really wise to find a guide who can help you through those steps. And actually, of course, strategy is important. You can't just go in with assumptions that people are going to get it and it's all going to work out hunky-dory. Okay? Now, co-parenting tax. Again, it's wasting your time, your energy, your money on things that may even work to a point and then stop working. Or maybe they never worked, you just keep doing them because maybe your therapist or counselor or lawyer told you to do them. Okay, you literally collapse time when you have the steps laid out for you. Obviously, there are a lot of variables. It's not step 1, step 2, step 3, step 5, everything's great. Life doesn't work that way, especially when it comes to your children. When it comes to you as a person, your confidence, you may, depending on the level of work that you've done, you may be confident. And usually the women that work with me are confident in other areas of their lives. Like they're running businesses, they have careers, they are running their household, and they are confident in their other interactions and relationships. But when it comes to dealing with their co-parent and their own confidence, that's where things seem to fall over, and it's extremely frustrating for them because they're badasses in other areas of their life. When it comes to this, they still revert to shrinking down, making themselves small, which is not the way. That's not going to get you anywhere. So this is why confidence and the tax you pay is staying small, not making decisions that are aligned with what you need and want for your children. Putting what your co-parent wants and needs ahead of what you want and need for your children. Keeping yourself small intentionally because maybe you're the good girl people pleaser and never really did the work to get out of that. Okay, we can have confidence of the wrong things. Like you may be confident that your co-parent has more control. You can be confident that your co-parent has more money than you. You can be confident that they have more influence than you. You can have confidence in the wrong things. But we need to have confidence in the right things. Okay, let me know in the chat how this is landing for you. If it's making sense, is this landing? This tax that you are paying in your time, in your energy, and that doesn't even include the financial cost of this. You know, there's this perception that I'll hire a coach when, I'll get mentorship when, or I'll get help when I've just dealt with this part. And the understanding, it's actually the opposite way. To deal with X, Y, Z, you hire a coach or mentor. You hire someone who has been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. Only if you want to go quicker, with less mistakes, and actually get the outcomes that you want, or as close to the outcomes that you want and need for yourself and for your children. It's not the other way. I'll get everything sorted, then go do this. That's backwards thinking. And it's always astonishing to me, that way of thinking. Hi, Becky, good to see you. Okay, so for anything in life, like if I want to, and I think I've used this example before, if I want to get my abs back, yeah, there's YouTube. Yes, there's a million coaches online who can give me advice on that, or I can follow. But if I'm actually serious about getting the abs and I know that I want to get them by 3 months, in 3 months' time, I will choose the quickest route with the support that I need that covers everything from nutrition to sleep to exercise to hydration. I will go to the person that knows how to do that and has done it. I know I'm capable of doing it myself, but it's not going to take me 3 months. It will probably take me a year or longer because I'm not going to be accountable to myself. I'm going to be grabbing for the cheese or the bread, or I'm going to forego that workout because I just can't be bothered, or it's too cold and dark outside. Okay, so if we want something, usually in life, and we don't know how to get to that place, and we want to go there quickly with fewer hiccups, we go and find out who can do it, and we go and hire them to go help you. Only if you want to achieve that. Some people don't want to achieve that. I'm only talking to those who want to, no one else. Yes, this is landing, so important to be confident in ourselves and our ability to deal with all the shenanigans of the ex. Yeah, exactly. So the tax that you pay, it filters down to your children, it filters down to how you show up in court or your documentation, or when you're dealing with third parties, non-court third parties as well, your own confidence, and then your communication and your boundaries. That you pay a high tax if you are up till 2 a.m. or wake up stressed out about something, some kind of communication from your co-parent, or you end up in a ping pong text battle with them, or discussion, a long drawn out discussion, or your email is blowing up from your co-parent, or they're sending these long novel-esque messages. That takes a lot of time and energy to process, to read, like emotional energy to decipher, unless you just choose to ignore them, but you can't necessarily ignore them because there might be something of substance in there that you may need down the track, or you may need to answer, especially if you're in and out of the court system. So that co-parenting tax when it comes to communication is also deliberating over how to respond. Should I respond now? Should I respond in 24 hours? Do I respond this or do I respond that? Send it to 5 friends in the group chat. What do you think about this? That takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. When you can strip out that time and energy that you are wasting, and you have the tools in place and you have your approach in place and you have the guidance, like that's something that you can just send to your coach. I'm thinking about doing this. Or if you have an idea, you go send it. And then it's like, oh, hang on, no, strip out that because this will mean the XYZ can possibly happen. So someone who has been there, done that, worn the t-shirt will be able to help you compress the time between and the energy that you spend with responses. Does it need a response or no? How do I set a boundary around XYZ? I'm thinking about this boundary. Usually the women that I work with usually are doing something. They're not completely coming brand new off the boat. They are very well versed in what they're experiencing, and they have experienced the repercussions of making the wrong moves. They've seen the effects in their children. They've seen the effects in court. They've seen the effects in their own confidence and in how they communicate with their co-parent. So this co-parenting tax affects everything. Those 5 areas, like your children, court, your confidence and the communication. Is that it? Children, court, confidence, communication, confidence and communication. And what's the 5th one? Can't remember. But there's also other areas like this. I'm not even talking about your relationships, either your new relationship, your new marriage, your friendships, your family relationships. The cost of not having a handle on this is way beyond any dollar amount. The emotional, physical, mental cost that you pay, thinking that you're doing the right things, find out that 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the track, the thing that you delayed doing that you wanted to do, which is get a one-on-one, join a container, get coaching, whatever it is, or join a program, that could have easily been compressed. That was unavoidable. But when you don't know and you just assume that, oh, I need to clear all this out of the way so I have the mental capacity to focus, it doesn't work that way. You're spending the time and energy anyway, and you're wasting it because there's no return on investment. You're just staying above water. When you're actually doing the set of the things, the frameworks, and following what is going to get you further, and what is going to support your children, and what is going to help you if you're in and out of court, what's going to help you with your confidence in the right things, what's going to help you with your communication, those kind of things will be sorted out a lot sooner, and you'll actually get time and energy back. That is the whole point of this work, which isn't actually work. You're wasting it anyway. And it is wasting your time if you're still getting these problems and challenges coming up and still getting the same outcomes. Whereas if you just follow, or at least have a guide to help you implement, to help you pivot, to help you get further along in this journey unscathed, that will save you way more than anything you will ever invest in your self-development in this area. And it goes for self-development and personal development in anything. We know that. You may have a coach for nutrition, you may have a coach or mentor for something else that you're interested in your life. We hire coaches and mentors, or we get into their spaces because they know something that we don't. They have followed their own process and got the outcome that they wanted, and they were exactly where you were. And again, I'm only speaking to those who want to collapse time. I'm only speaking to those who want to move faster. Okay? All right? Only speaking to those who I'm meant to be speaking to. So ultimately, you're paying anyway. So if co-parenting is exhausting, if you are overwhelmed, which I hear this many, many, many times, or if you find yourself saying or thinking co-parenting is a lot, then there's something to be done. That is not how this should play out for you. It's not how it should be playing out for you. Okay, let me know in the comments if this is landing before we wrap up, or what your biggest, I guess, breakthrough or takeaway is from this training. Because you're draining your energy. You're literally draining your time and your energy anyway. Wouldn't you rather spend a fraction of that to get a return on that time investment? Because time is precious. You cannot get that back. Money, you can generate money again. You will get money again. Your time is gone. And for me, time is a high value. I don't have an abundance of time. So if I can cut the amount of time it takes me to do something, have something, get something, you better believe I'm going to go and outsource that to go and make it happen. Because time and your energy is not like in abundance. Okay? So let me know in the chat how this is landing for you. This co-parenting tax, I see it so many times in people's messages, and it's like, well, did you do anything? Are you doing anything? Because if all you're doing is managing, you're never going to get anywhere. You will come to me, my DMs, month after month, year after year, with the same issues because you didn't do anything. And I don't mean anything with me necessarily. You didn't change anything. You just keep doing the same set of things because you think that's what you should be doing. And you feel that getting a coach or mentor or even joining a program is going to drain your energy and time even more. No, it saves you time and energy. It's not meant to add to what you're expending already. It's meant to compress the time and give you the return on investment that you want. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time year after year, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so let me know what your biggest breakthrough or takeaway is for this training before we sign off. And that's all I wanted to say. Now, just quickly, there is a 5-day mini mind coming up that starts late September. So if nobody knows what a mini mind is, or if you don't know what a mini mind is, it's basically a coaching and mentorship container that lasts for 5 days. If you've done Not Proofing Your Kids Against Manipulation program with me, when you have a co-parent who is non-child focused, then you will know the principles. This is where we actually get coaching on those principles. So if you have that program, it's going to really support that, especially as your children are getting older or developing, or if you have more than one child, different ages. We can get coaching, and I'll give you coaching in that 5-day container. Usually there is one thing that's really coming up in your home, whether it's your kids are coming home dysregulated, or there are continual lies, or you've noticed that one child is the scapegoat, one is the golden child, or they flip between the two, or your co-parent is triangulating you and your children, whatever it may be, or gaslighting them, or they're the Disneyland parent. These are the things that we're going to be tackling in this 5-day mini mind. If you're in my emails, you're going to be notified when the pre-sale is open. The pre-sale will be closing in about 3 days. So it'll be open for 3 days at a ridiculously low rate because it's the pre-sale, and then the price will incrementally go up until we start. And that starts in September. Okay, so I'm going to love you and leave you. Remember, the co-parenting tax that you are paying in your time and in your energy needs to be gone. You don't even realize that you're spending it when you're up late at night or deliberating for hours over a message, sending it to 5 different people in the group chat, or your children are dysregulated and you're having to support them and deal with them. And also your confidence in all other areas of your life, how you show up, how you communicate, and in court, okay? So this is where you are paying that co-parenting tax. And you probably just take it for granted that that's just how it is. That is not how it is. That is not how it is. That is not how it's meant to be. If you want to save time, if you want to save energy and your resources, then it's best to get a guide and follow some frameworks so that you can not waste your time and energy on those things and actually put it back and get something back in return, as in settled children who transition okay, and building that bond with them, as in focusing on what's necessary when you're in and out of court, communicating in a way where you shut down your co-parents' BS. So they basically shut the fuck up. Building on your own confidence, okay? That's the co-parenting tax you're paying. The mini mind pre-sale opens opens sometime today, and it'll be open only for 3 hours. Then the price will incrementally go up, so you still get a good deal. But if you want in at the ground level at the lowest possible rate, I encourage you to open your email and go and join there. So if you don't have the Not Proofing Your Kids Against Manipulation program, this is still going to be good for you if you identify with having children who need to be knocked proof, and you're noticing any of these difficulties at transitions, or that the bond is strained because your co-parent's talking a lot of shit, or that they maybe don't bounce back, or they're just coming back with a lot of confusion and questions. All right, so with that, take care of yourselves. I'm going to see you for part 4 next week. Check your emails, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.